CataractCoach.com, the Best of Cataract Coach course from the ASCRS in Boston 2024.
Da-da-da. You can't stop. You can't stop.
It's quicker than your button.
You can't stop, unfortunately. So watch this case. They're doing this case. Seems like a routine case. My apologies for cutting you off. We just have to stay on time. This is not something I can control. It has to be timed. So there's the rhexis. Looks like a routine case. Chopping up the nucleus, chopped it in the bag to make you happy. It's me operating, not a resident. So then what do you see? Watch carefully. You're like, what is he going to do now? No, it was pretty routine. What's that?
But I saw that at the beginning. You know, when you started your rhexis, it was a little wrinkly, your capsule.
Okay. So what's your next move now? CTR now? Hooks to support the bag. Just cautiously proceed with cortex removal. Inject triamcinolone vitreous. What you want to do?
So, you know, you could actually do a little viscodissection of the cortex in that area. It looks like it's a very focal zonular weakness. You could, you know, depending on how loose you think things are, you can, you know, choose the different options. But I would almost just viscodissect that, use that, take the cortex out of that area last, do the rest, you know, remove it, and then you can put a CTR in, you know, whenever you need to do that. But sometimes you'll trap the cortex in the bag if you put it in too early, unless you use that Henderson modified.
Which I don't have. I think that's a brilliant idea, but
Yeah,
I'm not using
you can just do a tangential sweep around a capsular tension ring. So I would do a little bit modified viscodissection to get most of the cortex off, put my CTR in, and then go and do, you obviously didn't do that, but, and then go and do my cortical removal. And you just do a little tangential sweep and you can get your cortex. So when you grab the cortex, rather than pulling centrally, you do a little sweep tangentially and then pull, and it just comes up and over.
And I think the key is, though, you viscodissect the cortex before you put the CTR in, and put the CTR on top of that cortex in the fornix of the bag.
Yes.
Nice.
So you don't trap it completely.
So now I can see there's that focal area of zonal loss. There's the equator. Now that's okay. There's a little bit of cortex left. Do I cautiously proceed with more coaxial, switch to bimanual, leave it there, insert CTR, like you said, and then remove the cortex?
D.
So inject viscoelastic now.
And then you can use bimanual IA even with a CTR in, because that also can help you get into the angles that you need to remove stuff.
But knowing you, you're probably just going to remove it. So when you remove it, you're not going to listen. So when you remove it, just don't have a radial force, as Rosa was saying.
So more
if you do
circumferential
like
or
a
tangential?
hurricane, tangential will be much more gentle.
What's a hurricane?
Like that, you know, Alan Crandall described that kind of
swirliness.
the swirl, you know, to remove the cortex. That's how we remove all the cortex.
And maybe have some visco ready to go in your left hand or your non-dominant hand to get ready to put it into that area to keep it back.
Well, that's nice too. So as you're doing this, have the viscoelastic in the other hand ready, so you can do two things at once. That makes a whole lot of sense. Well, let's see. I don't even remember what I did in this case. So I'm gonna hold the capsule as I take out the last bit of cortex. Tell me if this is reasonable. Just to give it like a little bit of focal support there as I get this last piece out.
Yeah, as long as there's no burr on that spatula.
I would have used a viscoelastic cannula, but you know, I think it's a good idea.
There you go. And now you said get some viscoelastic in there.
There you go.
Again, another use for that left-hand viscoelastic.
And now CTR. We got some good CTR fun coming up here. So here's how I like to do a CTR. I like to just get that Sinski in the leading eyelet and then dial it around there. So here you go, getting it there, and advance, 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 and then at this point, easy enough to just release it into the bag and get that off there. Boom, should be easy. Now, again, you're doing an injector, but you're also just doing it, you said, without leading.
Yeah, you know, if you don't want to have two hands in the eye, the thing is that that was a beautiful technique. You just don't want to stress the zonules more when you're putting a CTR in. So whatever technique you want, you can also just do it with one hand, but the key is to have a lot of the CTR coming out before you engage the capsule. So you just put it in with an injector, but again, try to get it all the way over and start it tangentially coming around.
Awesome. So here you see at the end, it looks pretty good. Now watch this case carefully, okay? This is a different case. Watch carefully, taking out the cortex. Looks pretty reasonable, right? Nothing unusual. Surgeons noted some zonular weakness, going to decide to put a CTR in. So that's, again, a reasonable approach. So I'm cleaning this up. I'm going to ask you what to do here. So inject, inject, inject. There's some viscoelastic. Bag looks pretty good. And so like you said, don't let anything collapse. There's the viscoelastic. Good rhexis. Bag looks good. Here comes the CTR. Now tell me, watch carefully, what's going on here? Watch carefully. There it goes again. Looks pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. And okay.
Oh.
What's that? Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Now what?
Oh,
Now
wow. Okay, don't let go. Hang on for dear life.
Okay, now what do I do here? Is the CTR in the bag? The wrinkles are okay? The CTR gripped the bag? The CTR caused more zonular loss? I have no idea. D, I have no idea. What is going on here? You saw it. Come on, experts, teach me. School me.
I think the bag was not inflated enough.
There's a lot of viscoelastic in the bag.
No, I think when you put your second hand in, you are actually had egress of your viscoelastic. If you go back, you can see through your para, the viscoelastic was coming out. So it's getting soft, and I think you ripped the capsular bag.
Oh.
I think this patient had really bad protoplasm.
Absolutely.
Like all of your patients, Uday, where you have a complication, blame the patient.
Don't hate the surgeon,
Dude,
remember?
yeah.
Be a hater.
I think there might have been a little undiagnosed hole there. Like you might have broken the bag at some point in time, or the patient did have an anatomical.
But that's an anonymous surgeon, it's not me.
Or whoever was operating, there could have been something there, and then when the CTR went in, it went through it, or expanded it.
Okay, so what do you want to do now then?
Take out the CTR.
I don't know.
Take it out. You have a nice anterior rhexis. You're going to be fine.
You sure? You done that
Maybe.
before?
Can you put a bit of viscoelastic in and really see what's going on there?
Well, let's find out. So here we go.
Because it could just be.
I took it out. It's gone. Oh, the anonymous surgeon took it out.
Whoa!
Is that a rent?
I don't know. What do you tell me?
I
What's
think
going
you
on
just-
there? So here it is again. Let me show you. Just get this thing and let's just get it out of here. Just grab it and just let's get it out. I don't want it in the eye anymore. The anonymous surgeon does not want this in the eye anymore. Let's get rid of it.
Yes.
Get rid of it.
I think you just have a really wrinkly bag.
Wait, who's a wrinkly bag? What?
As I'm saying it, I'm like, this doesn't sound good.
I don't know what's going on here. I
have no idea. Is it a...
Now what are we going to do? You want to put the CTR back in the bag and use a single piece?
No.
Put the CTR back in the bag and use a 3-piece? Remove the CTR, use a single piece in the bag. Remove the CTR, use a 3-piece and sulcus capture. What do you want to do?
D.
But you said just inflate the bag and put it back.
Well,
I didn't say that.
I said inflate the bag and see what's going on. You didn't do that. I didn't know what's going on. So if that's torn, then it's D.
Like, I kind of don't want to find out. I just want to like...
So then D is your
D.
easiest. Since you took out the CTR already.
Yeah,
just use a
just be
3-piece and
safe.
put it in the
Yeah.
sulcus with optic cap.
And what kind of 3-piece do you like these days? Acrylic, silicone? What's your kind of fastball for these?
Oh, it's what we have, which is an acrylic. Iowa.
Okay. How about you?
Same.
Do you ever do the silicone ones that come out like planar, so easy?
We don't have that option.
We don't have the option
Okay.
either.
But yeah, in a case like this, sometimes you just, every surgery is just an opportunity to get more grief. That was taught to me when I was doing it. I didn't check. Don't make it too much.
Well, look, you're not really a surgeon if you don't run into
Challenges.
challenges or complications.
Well, that's
right?
how we're
It's
here to
part
learn
of
from them.
surgery.
Absolutely.
That's it. Just, yeah.
No, so I'm hopefully you're enjoying these cases. These are really great learning points. So yeah, I'm going to do D. Remove the CTR, use the 3-piece in the sulcus, optic capture it. It'll be beautifully centered.
Yep.
Patient's going to have a fantastic outcome. So here you go. Here it comes, 3-piece lens. This is a planar lens. So leading haptic comes out nice and flat and planar.
So that's a BNL.
Yeah, and then the optic comes out nice and super flat too. Boom, totally planar. So no, I don't want to twist around inside the eye. Let more, if there is
That's
vitreous,
nice.
It's a nice lens.
And then just dial this in nice and easy, and then I'll have to capture it, and then we can finish up the case here.
So which lens is that, Uday?
That's a B&L LI61.
Got it.
And so 3-piece silicon lens, 6mm optic, just a monofocal lens. And then just making sure I got it where I want it, and then get that optic captured behind the rexes. And of course, this is going to have a nice, very stable outcome. Seating up the incision here at the end too, prior to moving viscoelastic. I just don't want to have any vitreous prolapse coming around the edge of that. And so I want the nice, maintained anterior chamber. So taking out viscoelastic now. Again, I'll go a little slower on the parameters, taking out more and more. Again, if there is, you think, significant viscoelastic retained behind the optic, leave it be. We can put the patient on some Diamox later, and the patient will be fine. So sealing up that incision, and then the outcome ended up being really nice. Patient was super happy. And yeah.
Did you figure out the etiology of the wrinkles?
You know, interestingly, it just must be more zonular loss, but the next day, there's no vitreous prolapse. The next day, the bag looked intact with the slump.
Yeah.
So maybe I didn't need to do all that. Maybe I could have had another alternate approach. But that's what I chose to do at the time. Sometimes you don't know, right? You look there at the slit lamp, and those wrinkles on the posterior capsule scare the heck out of me. So,
I think it's an equatorial circumferential width. I don't know what causes it.
equatorial circumferential width, maybe.
Yeah, and then the ring expanded it, and so it went from 1 clock hour to like 3 or 4.
Could be.
I see a few of them.
We'll take your question in 33 seconds.
Speak fast.
Well, I think this is not the best approach. You know, in long term, once you put a lens into a capsular bag, even if you capture within the capsular excess, the fibrosis will dislocate this lens in the course of time. And you have to take care that the vector forces in the capsule should be evenly distributed in the bag. So it's a good idea that you put a capsular tension ring in.
3, 2, 1. Thank you. I appreciate it. Great center.